welcome back to McDougal's Mind. Mike here, if you will. So this is a quick update video, guys. I don't want this to go too terribly long because this weekend I'm going to be releasing the first episode of Black Chain Shadow Strife. We'll cover that here in a minute, but I want to get some basic things out of the way first, guys. So if you notice behind me here, I've actually gotten quite a bit more in the collection going on here, and I've actually got two more shelves on the way from Amazon that will be here. Currently this is Tuesday night and it'll be here Friday some point. You guys are going to see this on a Wednesday, so just something to think about. But see the pictures right over here. I'll have close-ups, just showcasing a few things, and I know there are going to be some items on there people are going to cringe at, people are going to scoff at. Guys, I'm not a collector, I'm not a super fan. I don't know what word to describe, because if I say, you know, I love like Batman, people expect me to have every single known thing in the galaxy, and they go, oh, you're not a true fan. And guys, I like Batman. I don't know how to explain that anymore, but I'm getting the collection up there. And again, I'm not trying to collect the most ultra rare things. I don't know every single issue of Batman and yada 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 along that lines, guys. I like to collect things that are more personal. And, you know, I'm happy for people that have, you know, a $3,000 Batman comic, where probably not a single of the comics I've bought, which I've bought a lot more comics since last time, because I think the last update I did was way back in September, 4 months ago. I've bought a lot more comics since then, guys, so the collection's growing. It's going to take a while to get there before it's anything worth bragging about. And, you know, if you guys want to see like crazy collections, I'm not the channel for that. I'm just a guy who wants to collect stuff that's, you know, as I get older, it's more dear to my heart. I'm a very practical person. I don't collect things just to collect them. Anyways, I know that doesn't make any sense. Let's move on from that. If you see the little plushie right here, guys, that is from the Chilled Cow YouTube channel, better known as Lo-Fi Girl. A vast majority of my time animating is listening to the Chilled Cow Lo-Fi Girl YouTube channel. I love that channel. I don't interact too much with the people on there, so if they say I've never seen this name, yeah, you haven't seen this name, because instead of looking at the screen with the chat on it, now I've got my head buried in my other computer over here focused on animating, because I can listen to music and watch with my eyes what I'm doing. I just can't interact, and I want to stay more focused on what I'm doing. But besides that, I thought it was just a cool thing to showcase something, guys, because I do love the Lo-Fi Girl channel. All right, moving on. Let's see. So, as I already stated, guys, this Saturday I'm gonna be releasing the first episode of Black Chain Shadow Strife, and there's a few things to go along with this, guys. So, kind of hear me out on this, because it's gonna take a minute to explain. This first episode, I've titled it My Frankenstein, and it's got multiple reasons why I've titled it My Frankenstein. As far as the actual story goes for Black Chain Shadow Strife, it's going to be a long time before you understand the title My Frankenstein on this very first episode. And I mean that seriously, guys, because this is the beginning of the story. You know, every story has a beginning, and this is it. And you're going to have to understand these characters and know their history, know their current situation, and to know where they're going to end up going in their lives to understand why this is going to be referred to as My Frankenstein. The next part of this title that is probably more accurate than anything else is going to be how I've merged all of this different animation styles together. And again, guys, this is my very first try at an action animation, as I'm calling it, because I'm not going to call it an anime. I feel that is a Japanese tradition uh, that their animation work is called anime. I'm well aware of how the Japanese view anime as animation or cartoons or whatever. Um, but it's one of those cultural things, guys, and you know that's the Japanese culture. I'm not Japanese, and I'm not trying to steal culture or what's the current thing right now. People complaining about cultural appropriation, which I could do an entire video on that because of. Um, I wish I could really talk to you guys about my bloodline and where my ancestors come from because Norse, the Vikings, their religion. I don't want to call it Norse mythology because the Swedish, the Danes were also Vikings who worshiped Thor and Odin and all of them. But yeah, that's a part of my history. My personal ancestors were Vikings. I know that sounds terrible, guys, but yeah, just is what it is. Uh, that's only a part of my DNA, but a lot of that, guys, is getting culturally appropriated by everybody, and like, good grief, dang. But that's a topic we can talk about another time, guys. Moving forward, uh, so yeah, I'm kind of lost place there, getting off on the DNA thing. I just did a DNA thing not too long back, guys, within the last like 8 months, and found out some pretty interesting things about my family history that I had no idea about before. Had no idea I actually had Viking blood in me, but yeah, I do. I have a lot. Uh, yeah. So let's get back on topic, guys. But my Frankenstein, it's the merging of all of these different animation styles together, guys. It starts off with Flash animation, which I'm no longer using Flash animation. I don't know currently right now, guys, if I'm ever going to get back into Flash animation. And that's just one of those things, guys, where it's going to take a lot of money to get back into doing Flash animation that I just don't want to spend. Mainly because I honestly did get pissed off at Moho Animation because since I bought their software, I think they were bought out like 2 or 3 times by different companies. And somewhere in the mix, my serial numbers no longer work anymore. So I can't use the 2 copies of Moho Animation Pro 11. So I'm just out. And yeah, that's a story you guys can look back at other videos and find out more about. But I'm probably never going back to Flash animation. I like my frame by frame. TV Paint's amazing. Clip Studios, absolutely. Now, I like Clip Studios, but it's not as intuitive as TV Paint. But there's some things in Clip Studios that works pretty dang well, so I'll use that separately. Anyways, going back to the different types of animation, you're going to see, guys, that when the Flash animation stops, there's a city line view. That's the very last frame, and then next to that will be a frame of, or a sequence rather, of Shibaru, the main character, training with a boken, a wooden sword. And that's when I really start going into Clip Studios and then TV Paint from there. And I was trying to figure out how to keep my lines straight, how to get rid of the scratchiness, because most artists do that little like chicken peck type, you know, scratch look. I don't know what else to call it. It took me a long time to figure out how to keep my lines straight. In fact, there will be a sequence later on with the character Shio, and with that character Shio on top of a droid, I figured out how to keep my lines straight, and you'll see it, guys, when the episode releases this Saturday, which I do believe is the 15th, January 15th, 2022. So look forward to it once again, guys. But yeah, it's gonna look a little weird because you've got the Flash animation. In the middle of the Flash animation, I'm gonna have the opening sequence, introduction, intro video, if you will. It's got some pretty cool background music, and that entire sequence, guys, of the intro is what my current skill level is at. And it's all just jumbled in there, and that's why I'm calling this My Frankenstein. And there are a few more reasons behind me calling it My Frankenstein, guys. I don't want to ruin too much of the story aspect. Again, like I already stated, you'll have to go back to the beginning of this video, and I don't want to get into it anymore, so let's move on. I'm all alone doing this, guys. I wish I could say I've had help doing this, but I really haven't. And part of this, guys, is a few years ago, I did have a team of people, good friends of mine, working on this, a different project with me called Brethren of the Storm, which you can find that separately here on the channel. But Brethren of the Storm, I was going to work with a group of people, and eventually, and I still plan to, start an animation company with. It kind of fell through, guys, because I bit off more than I can chew, and I just didn't have the know-how. I didn't have then the skills, because this was over 2 years ago. Now I've been working on this first episode of Black Chain Shadow Strife for 2 years, pretty much since that group disbanded. And I realized I'm really gonna have to step up my game to get to where I need to be before I try starting another group. So my apologies to those guys if they see this. Moving forward, I am alone doing all this, guys. Outside of the music and the sound effects, everything is of my own creation. I'm doing all the voice acting. I've done every bit of the artwork. Every frame you see is by my hand, you know, outside of the programs that I use. Yeah, it's all me. So it's going to take a long time to get to episode 2, which is what we're going to move into next, talking about episode 2. Guys, episode 1 has taken me 2 years to make. In fact, on my personal Facebook, I just had a video pop up of 1 year ago, something I posted, and that sequence that I posted is probably 4 or 5 minutes into the first episode, and that will give you an idea, because it was a year that I started. Year later, I posted that on Facebook, and now we're a year from that, so 2 years in total. I know that sounds weird, but is what it is. Releasing episode 2, guys, it's gonna take time. It's just gonna take time. Episode 2 is not gonna be as action packed. In fact, I pretty much plan on the characters being, for the most part, static, not moving around too much, because they're going to be in their living room space, which you'll see in episode 1, just talking, and it's going to be more character development and getting to know these characters. In fact, I actually have episode 2 written out completely. Actually, not in this notebook, in this notebook, but I'm gonna scrap a few things in there, guys, and I'm rewriting the script, mainly because with episode 1 finished and completed now, and I changed the names, some of what happens in episode 1, and it wouldn't make any sense with what I had. So I'm going back through, and I was sitting at a coffee shop earlier, and I just decided, okay, I'm gonna redo episode 2, so here we go. So I'm getting back into making episode 2, and again, I'm by myself doing all this, guys, so I know I sound like a broken record, but I have to get that across. It's not going to be a few weeks, it's not going to be a few months. In fact, it will be at least half a year from now. I'm looking at July, maybe around the 4th of July. It's an American holiday. Most people are going to be off around then, and I think it would be a good time to try and sneak in my episode 2 so people can watch it. I have gotten way better at doing these sequences, guys. Way better. In fact, the entire opening sequence that you see in episode 1 when it releases, the intro, I made that just within the last 2 or 3 weeks, and it looks pretty dang good. At least I think so, for my current skill level, because I'm still trying to get better at it, guys. I'm not by any means professional. I'm not by any means a master or super duper talented. I'm just a guy with a passion. So with that said, again, guys, I'm not Disney. You know, I know people are going to say, dude, this isn't even 10 minutes long. Why don't you make it longer? And it's like, okay, do you want me to take another year and a half to make this thing? And at that, I'd probably only get, I am faster, but I would probably only add like another 12 minutes at that point, because each frame, guys, I've done hand drawn. So takes a long time. Yeah, in a basic sequence, guys, there's anywhere from I think one of the easiest ones I've done has only had 20 frames in it, and that's 24 frames a second. So you play that together to make a sequence happen, and I'm talking about just making an arm move. There's a sequence you'll see at the end of episode 1 where the main character Shibaru raises his hand. It is a very simple sequence, but that is, again, it's like 20 frames right there, just him raising a hand. It's very simple. It was easy to do, but again, that's 20 frames. I had to draw a hand, making sure it came up and looked right, because he's introducing a character that has not been showcased before. And that will be a reason for you guys to check out episode 1. I'm pretty excited about it, and yeah, I'm looking forward to see what everybody thinks, guys. I always welcome criticism. If you want to help me get better, by all means, tell me things to work on. Just the two main things, guys. I'm not Disney. Keep that in mind. So the two main things, length. I can't really do too much about length because length of making. So I think right now my current runtime is not even 8 minutes. It's like 7 minutes and 42 seconds. That's as good as I can get, guys. Without having help, I can't make them any longer. 2, the voice acting. I know the voice acting is going to be atrocious, and you guys are going to roll your eyes at some of my voice acting, but can't do anything about it, guys, and I don't want to be a voice actor. So you can tell me, Michael, you suck at voice acting. It's terrible. I was like, yeah, I agree. I'm not even going to fight this. You're preaching to the choir at this point. There's nothing I can do about it, guys. With COVID going on and all the crazy paranoia, I myself get a little paranoid at times just because there's a lot of personal drama there, guys, and I don't want to get into politics. I want this to be a happy, fun channel. I know I posted that thing about Cowboy Bebop and Netflix on my last update, but I want everybody to enjoy this, guys, and I know it's damn near impossible to make something for everybody to enjoy, because someone's going to get offended, someone's going to laugh and say you're an idiot. But I want to make fun entertainment for everybody, guys. That's it right there. All right, so talking about voice acting, I still want voice actors. If you're interested, please email me. Show up. Be like, hey, hire me as a voice actor. I'm going to be like, all right, I can give you milk and cookies, but I can't pay you because it's going to be free, but I'll give you milk and cookies. Milk and cookies. I'll even ask you, what's your favorite chocolate chip? Oatmeal raisin? Snickerdoodles. Or peanut butter. Peanut butter cookies. Okay, anyways. I'm going to go into a cookie coma. But I do still want voice actors, guys, and I have a pretty decent setup for voice acting here. I'm looking at upgrading this microphone. In fact, probably on my next big bonus from work, I'm going to get a way better microphone, like a super fancy one that's got that crazy rig, because this is just a Yeti, and it sounds okay, but I noticed in this, a lot of what I was doing, the noises from like the computers and all, you can hear through the microphone. There's nothing I can really do about it just because of how small this office space is right now. Probably what I'm going to do later on, guys, is set up something in my garage to do voice recording and all, and that's going to come very much at a later time. And I think that's what everybody expects every time I talk to them about voice acting, that I have my own studio or something, which I don't. And in fact, It takes a lot of money to do studio time, which I would be down for, but we're gonna have to find a way to raise money and pay for that because everything I'm doing right now is out of my own pocket. I've spent a lot of money on this stuff, guys. Hey, all right. Enough about that. I do want to give a shout out to Epidemic Sound. There we go. Epidemicsound.com. If you guys don't know what that is, it's a music and sound effects service where you can get a subscription, and any of their music and any of their sound effects you can use without fear of copyright strikes. They've got great music on there, guys. In fact, the music you hear on this and the music you hear on the first episode of Black Chain Shadow Strife is going to be from epidemicsound.com. Not all the music. Some of it's just going to be the basic royalty-free music from YouTube because I didn't want to get too crazy with vocal music because I am not who is this? Michael Bay, that every other sequence is like some crazy song playing. It's just like you're listening more to a radio than watching a movie. I didn't want to do like that, but I do use music to set the tone for each sequence. Just kind of building into it. And I'm rattling on too much, guys, but this is my first attempt at a full-length action animation, guys, and let me know what you think. Again, I'm open to criticism if you want to help me get better. I am on a 5-year plan, guys, a 5-year plan. So I started in 2021 at the beginning of that January. I'd said, all right, we're doing 5 years from this point. So we're a year later, it's 2022, we're in January. So I've got 4 more years to get to be where I want to be to start my animation company. I don't know if I'm gonna still call it McDougal's Mind or move on to something else less about me, but it is what it is, guys. And thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're as excited as I am because I can't wait to show you guys what I've been working on, what I've spent all of my free time doing for the last 2 years. And yeah, I'm taking a little bit of a break, guys, because for 3 weeks now I've done nothing but work on the animation thing, and that's doing 12-hour days every day for 3 weeks, which I know is not a lot compared to some people, guys. And animators in Japan probably would kick my butt sideways and under with as many hours as they put into making Boruto, Black Clover, Demon Slayer, yada yada yada. All to it, they're making money. I'm not making money doing this. In fact, my normal job, I'm furloughed right now, so I don't even have a job. So this is what it is. Anyways, guys, thanks for hanging out. That's probably too much personal information, but I have been working hard to get to where I think everybody's going to really enjoy this if they understand that I'm an amateur, I'm not Disney, and this is my first attempt at a full action animation. I think I'm going to coin that, action animation. Again, guys, thanks for hanging out, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.